So I love this idea, and I'm so happy that I'm able to be here and share a little bit about how we at the Census Bureau have been bold over the past year or so, just while I've been in this role. But again, my name is Lisa Frid, and I am the Workforce Transformation Program Manager at the Census Bureau. I have been in this role for about a year, and I'm pretty new to HR, actually. I have a little bit of background with workforce, but I've spent most of my career at the Census Bureau in the program areas on surveys and censuses. So it's a very cool transition, and I've been able to translate the business areas needs into HR and the workforce. So it's been a very fun last year. So I have to start just by, we were talking about Atlanta Falcons, and I just have to say, go Ravens. I'm from this area. So any Ravens fans here? Yeah. Hoping for another Super Bowl this year, maybe even the 49ers. Maybe the lights will go out again. I don't know. But I'm from this area. I've been at the Census Bureau for 10 years. Most of my career has been in government. So another show of hands, not associated to the Ravens, but we have anybody here that is a hiring manager? Anybody that's hired people? Nobody? Yeah. I want to set the stage a little bit because our drive at the Census Bureau has been about the roadblocks and challenges that we've encountered as we've hired people. So let me see those hands again. And do I have any hands that are going to go down when I ask the question, who has not experienced a challenge? So, can you think about hiring people and any roadblocks? I'm not sure about our mix of feds or private industry here, but for those of you, especially that are feds, have we had any challenges or roadblocks or some people maybe that didn't make certs that you thought that should have made them, or maybe the other way around, made the certs and you didn't think they should? So that's what we're here to talk about today. Did it go? No, other one? Okay. I'm a questions person. I like asking questions. I work for the Census Bureau, so just like the surveys. Okay. But you don't need to tell me, you don't need me to tell you that we are changing the way that we do our work. With how fast technology is shifting, we have a constant opportunity to improve our processes and the people that are working on them for us. At the Census Bureau, by definition, we are a data organization. And these questions are even more important for us to think about to how we use and analyze data. Our mission is dependent on the evolution, and it's critical that we adapt to the changing technical environment. We are competing with public, academic, and private industry for the top talent, and it's difficult, it's hard, especially in the government. We don't have the money and the funds. We just can't attract the talent, and then once we do get them in the door, it's hard to retain them. As our work evolves, the workforce must change with it. And the Census Bureau is developing a data science workforce to remain relevant with today's industry standards and those expectations. We've been struggling with some big questions like on the screen. What does the change look like? How do we bring our people along with us? And what impact does it have to the whole organization? It's not just us. There is a need for better data skills and data science across the federal government. We hear this reflected when we look at things like the Federal Data Strategy Action Plan or the Evidence-Based Policymaking Act and other agency strategic plans. Many of them are screaming data all throughout, especially now with the President's management agenda. Agencies are struggling to not just train, but also recruit the talent to perform that cutting-edge data science work. For example, many agencies and departments that we've been collaborating with, they've posted positions using many different skill or series. For example, 1530, a survey statistician, or 1550, a computer scientist, or 2210, an IT specialist. But the certificates are just not yielding the candidates to support the agency's data science work. And one other major department has hundreds of open data science positions, but they had to reject successful data scientists from industry because they did not meet the particular educational requirements. They were forced to consider an internal candidate solely because they had a degree. And then while a large agency is investing in data science training opportunities, those trainees and the participants, the internal participants don't see a career path because there's no data scientist occupational series in the federal government. So formalizing that series would incentivize career growth, foster their retention, and bolster promotional potential. At the Census Bureau, our team began with the larger question of how to address the workforce need. One thing became clear as we spoke with our customers and our peers at other agencies. The current available classification standards do not support hiring staff with one, big data capabilities, and then two, with experience with a broad suite of those new industry standard analytical tools. After extended research, our team developed the documentation required by the Office of Personnel Management and formally proposed a new occupational series for data scientists in the federal government and submitted that this past July. Since then, we've been supporting the Office of Personnel Management in the beginning steps of their occupational study, including building a federal coalition and conducting focus groups. We know we can't hire our way out of this problem, but at the Census Bureau, we are in the process of rolling out a data science training program to upskill our employees and streamline data science across the organization. Today, I want to dive just a little bit into each of these efforts with you. Our work with the Occupational series began with developing a proposal based on an observation that a new vehicle for recruiting and hiring individuals with data science was needed, not only in the Census Bureau, but also in the federal government. We believe that a new occupational series may be one avenue worth exploring that would help many agencies run more efficiently and would attract new skill sets to create lasting change. Today's federal workforce has statistical and other analytical capabilities, but it's limited in the data tools and inferential skills that data scientists possess. Data scientists are an addition that would help the government become more efficient by utilizing the technology to assist with mission-critical tasks that are better accomplished using AI and other technological advances. We started with a period of research, really dug deep across government on what the data science work and roles would look like, what it would look like across industry, and then what it would look like in government. Simultaneously, we collected information from across our mission areas at Census to really understand what they needed in order to accomplish their work and began to build that federal coalition of stakeholders across the Department of Commerce, and then it expanded as people started to latch on and really liked what we were doing across the entire federal government. The proposal that we submitted to the Office of Personnel Management was signed on by 16 other agencies or departments across government because their need was so great, just like ours. That information was essential in our conversations to really understand to describe what a data scientist looked like to OPM. Our team spent a lot of time workshopping the definition of data science. You all know that if I asked you to explain data science, everybody in this room would have a different definition. And I bet you couldn't do it in less than 5 words also. But our team spent a lot of time workshopping that definition. And it was really the backbone to our success in being able to explain it across government, within our organization, and also to OPM. But from there, we developed the full proposal document, began sharing it, and we received a ton of input. The final document is a result of ongoing collaboration and feedback in response to what OPM requires to research and evaluate the creation of a new classification standard. Our collaboration with OPM really kicked off this past summer and has continued through our coalition of stakeholders who supported the proposal development. We built a cohort of data scientists, human resource managers, and executive SMEs from across government with well over 40 agencies. Now the coalition has grown from 16 to 40 now that OPM is involved, to over 40 agencies or departments that are interested in this work. OPM is a few months into their occupational study right now, and we will continue to support them throughout their analysis and evaluation as it continues into 2020. Beyond classification, we recognize another challenge with training our current staff. At the Census Bureau, we're in the midst of developing and launching our first enterprise-wide data science training program, which we've built a multi-channeled development program that is much more than just sending students off to a very expensive university around the corner, or to have them earn a very costly degree or even a certificate online. The objective was really to upskill for the Census Bureau, starting with a pilot of 50 employees through online courses and in-person sessions. We're also going to provide direct mentorship from our data scientists, SMEs within the Census Bureau. And then we're going to provide them with an in-house data science project where not only is it going to give them the opportunity to apply the skills that they've learned, but also the organization will have the opportunity to test some of their processes and reap some of those benefits from the resources that have gained those new skills. While the classes are the main channel, that capstone project will provide participants with meaningful work and give them the space to use their new skills. The capstone is also an opportunity for the Census Bureau to test out those processes that would benefit from the new data science techniques and allows us to acquire the tools and software needed for our work, which we've learned is a difficult part of getting this program up and running, is getting the IT environment ready for these, not only for the training program, but for the data science work to continue throughout the agency. The good news is we didn't start from scratch. Not only do we have a robust curriculum of online courses from external vendors, but we also have those internal experts that are going to help our trainees throughout the program. Not only did they pick the applicants, they selected the applicants, but they are also providing the guidance during the training experience. And then they're acting as mentors throughout that capstone project. We're hoping that this really drives the engagement between the staff that have these great marketable skills, and we're hoping that that in-person connection with a mentor and working on the capstone project will help with retention to keep them back with the Census Bureau once they have that new skill set under the belt. We've built the program to allow the flexibility to deliver our survey and census operations. It's 2020 almost, and I'm sure many of you know what's ahead for the Census Bureau, but we still have many other surveys and censuses that will continue as well. So it was a strong requirement from our hiring manager, or from our managers, that this program, that we didn't send people away for weeks at a time. So the managers will be dedicating 8 hours of time for their employees to complete this training over a 6-month period. We're looking to explore this with OMB and to see how similar training could be available to other agencies. We don't have the details yet, but we are trying very hard to make this happen with the Office of Management and Budget and the Federal CIO Council. So stay tuned there. So the next few months are going to be busy for us, not only because of the 2020 census, but also for all the data science work that we have going on. We'll be formally launching our training program in early 2020 and gearing up to support the training participants during their training courses and those projects. We are collaborating with other agencies to form a data science community of practice, which I'm going to have to talk with Harry about that AI community of practice, see if we can align there. And if you're interested in getting involved in any of these projects or staying in the loop on our efforts until we get that community of practice going, feel free to email us at hrd.sdm@census.gov. It's on the screen as well. So as we hear from everyone else today, and I love this whole bold idea. I love that Harry really drilled it in, right? This was one idea from somebody within the Census Bureau, and we ran with it. And our agency, at the Census Bureau, we thought it was just us. And it was one team. I'm actually a team of one right now. And so it has grown from this one person to making an impact at the Census Bureau, just 16 agencies or departments, to now over 40 departments. And I'm standing here today as an example of what being bold is all about. It's making a difference and making an impact, and I can tell you it starts with one. So if you are interested in staying a part of all this, I encourage you to reach out to us, but then also keep going with those ideas. And just keep in the back of your mind, what can we do together to make this change as powerful as possible? Thank you for your time.